Hi everyone, welcome and thanks for joining me here today. My name is Demi de Bruin and I'm going to walk you through the basics of designing an app in Figma. This workshop is beginner friendly, so if you never used Figma before, don't worry. We're going to explore the interface together and build a simple design step by step. So, what is Figma? Figma is a browser-based design tool. You can use it to design website apps, digital interfaces, whatever you like. It works completely online and you can work with others just like Google Docs. It's a really powerful and flexible tool. Good to know, before we dive in, I've included some downloadable files to this workshop. You can download it below and I'm going to show you everything you need. There's a shortcut in there, cheat sheet, and also some links that I'm going to use today. All right, if you want to create an account at Figma, you have to use your email address from the HVA. So you can see here, Campus Creators, I'm using that one, of course. Make sure you click on Create Account. Continue with email. Use a password that you like and then create account. Next up, you have to set up your account and you have to answer some questions. What's your name? Which role best describes you? I'm using educator, but you have to use student. What type of level or school are you? University. Continue. Once you've set it up, your account, you have to go to figma.com/education/apply. You have this screen in front of you. I'm choosing educator again. You choosing student. You choose higher education. Why are you applying for a free Figma education plan? Well, because you have to learn Figma. So, some answers you have to fill in. What's your school's name? Hogeschool van Amsterdam. You can choose graphic or visual design or UI or UX in here. Then you have to create a screenshot. So you go to Brightspace, log in, and the course you are following. Yes, you make a screenshot. So, screenshot Brightspace. Go to the screen again, choose the file that you screenshotted, and also the URL. Paste it into the account. Yes, agree. Let's start with something I really love, the community. So, you can see here in the screen the Figma community. You can use it for design resources, the UI kits. I'm going to show you how to work with that. The UI kits from Apple. It's really handy because you can duplicate this to your own workspace. And you can click here, open in Figma. And you can make a copy of this file. Open it to your own workspace. I'm choosing Campus Figma Workshop. You can find it later on in the links I downloaded for you. In here you can see on the left side you can see pages and click on any page you like. You can see here all kinds of components that you can copy and paste through your own workspace. So it comes in handy, like this status bar for your iPhone or iPad, wallpapers, toolbars, text fields, anything you need to know and can add to your design in an app. All right, when you open Figma in here, you can see all your files. Now we're gonna choose a new file. Let me create a new file, design. And I'm gonna show you the interface of Figma. On the left, you find the layers panel, you can see here. File, assets, pages, and layers. This shows all the elements on your page, kind of like Photoshop. In the middle is your canvas, your workspace. And there's where all the designing happens. The tools in the bottom, you can find your frame tool, the rectangle tool or the shape tool, the pen tool, the text tool, and plugins. But later we will find more about that. And on the right side, you see the properties panel. This changes depending on what you select. It's where you can adjust colors, fonts, and layout, and more. Now, let's start designing. In the link I found for you, you can find it in the downloadable PDF. We're gonna make this mental health fitness app. And we're gonna create this design together. I'll begin with adding a frame. You select the frame tool. And on the right side, you can see here some presets of frames. So you can choose the iPhone 16 Pro. I'm gonna choose that one. And that's my blank canvas. I'm gonna fill this with a color. Now you can choose any color you like. You can also select this dropper and just make this design just step by step, same color, but I'm gonna do another color that I like, the green one. And you can see here a circle. And I'm gonna create that too. So we're gonna select the shape tool. It's a little bit bigger. Something like this. Also gonna fill it in with the same green color, but a little bit lighter. Something like this. You can see here in the layers panel that this shape, the circle, is not inside of the frame, and we want it inside of the frame. So we're just dragging it into the frame. And now you can see it's in the frame and not outside of it in your design. Now we're gonna choose the illustration in here. You can just copy and paste it, but I want to show you a plugin that I love to work with. It's called Blush. You can just search for Blush in the plugin tool, and you can find. You have to download it first, and you have to install it on your Figma account, but it's free, so you can use it at any time. And now you can see here all the illustrations that you can use for free. Make sure that if you use a illustration from other creators, that you give credits to them. So we're gonna search for a nice illustration in here. Let's see, humans maybe. We're gonna search for human. Categories, people. All right, you have to make sure you select your frame, and then you can drag your illustration in there. I don't like this one, so I'm gonna make sure it looks a little bit different. She's happy, she has the glasses, she has a bun. Yeah, all right. When you chose your illustration, you have to make sure it fits in. Yes. All right, now we're gonna use the text tool. It's okay not to be okay. So, if you want to adjust your text, you have to go to the properties right here. And you can change anything you want, like the font. I'm gonna choose a font in here that I like. Something similar as the example that we're using. More small and thin. I guess I like this one. Yes. All right. You can also change the sizing in here if you want it a little bit bigger. 32. You can also adjust the colors. Now it's black. What's in the example? It's white, so we're also going to do it white. But now I can see it's not really that readable, so I'm going to choose a font that's a little bit more boldy. Let's say this one, Alice. Also good to know that all fonts are, you can find all fonts in here. So you can also find popular fonts, Google fonts, and even installed by you. So you can do anything you like. All right, next up. This one. Next up, we're doing the background is a little bit plain now, so I'm gonna want to show you that it's also an option to, instead of a solid background, you can do a gradient background. If I click on the gradient button in here, you can see it just chooses two different colors. I'm gonna do the darker green. I'm gonna make it a little bit more white, like this. And you can also adjust the, if you grab the points from the gradient, you can choose in which direction the gradient is going. So I'm gonna do it a little bit more like this. Yeah. Also, I'm gonna do the illustration a little tiny bit smaller, like this. Yeah. Okay, then the button. And the next thing to do is a button underneath the illustration. So we're gonna select the rectangle tool. Make sure it's in the middle, in the center of the design. And we're gonna make rounded hooks. So if you click on these tiny circles and drag them inside of the rectangle, you can make rounded corners like this. These are a little bit too round, so I'm gonna make sure it's the same as the example. All right, gonna change the color. Take also a darker color of the green, something like this. I'm gonna use the same text as before. Let's get started. Now you can see in here the layers in the frame. The text that I just created is underneath the rectangle and I want to be it on top of the rectangle. So I'm going to drag it above it. Let's see here. And drag it on top of the button. Let's get started. Yes. All right, the first screen is done. Next up, the next screen. We're doing the same frame, the iPhone 16 Pro. And we're gonna create the more difficult screen. Let's see. You can see here an icon, and I'm gonna use icon also from a link I shared with you in the downloadable files. Let's see if I can find it in here. Yes, the free icon pack. If you open it, you can see more than 1800 icons for free. So you can use this in your design. And I'm going to find an icon that looks like this one, the menu. Let's see. Menus. You can see here, I selected the icon, but you have to make sure you get inside of the group and select all these three factors. So we're going to copy it and paste this to our own workspace. And now it's in here. You can see it here. It's a little bit bigger, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Also nice, you can adjust this icon. You can make it more bold. Now it's 2, we're going to make it 3, like this. If you want to make these icons yourself, you are free to do so, but this is a little bit faster just to copy and paste free icons that you can use for yourself. Next up, a title. So we're going to select the text layer again. Welcome back, Dami. Welcome back, Dami. And the name, so my name is bold, like this. Make sure it's centered. Well, it's aligned a little bit to the left, so we're going to do that as well. Then we can see a profile picture in here. If you want to use pictures or images from the internet, you can. I'm going to use unsplash.com and search for portraits. Let's see. This is a free image that I can download. Also in here, make sure you give credits and name the artist that you used it from. Select the shape tool. We're going to do a small circle. Hold your shift key to get a perfect circle in here. Yes. And now we're going to paste the downloaded portrait. It's very big, as you can see, so make it really small. I'm gonna make sure that's in the frame, yes. So now you just made it as big as the circle. We're gonna select the circle and the image, and you can see use as a mask. So click that. There you go, now you have a profile picture on your screen. What the example doesn't have and what we do want is a effect. So we're gonna choose in the properties panel effects, and then if you click on the plus, drop shadow, now you have a simple shadow. Gives a little bit more depth to the picture. You can also adjust the shadow here. Make it more dark, more blurry, even a different color, but I think it's good how it is now. Next up, another text ball. How are you feeling today? This text is a little bit smaller, so we're gonna 15 is a little bit too small, so maybe 16, 20, 20. All right, then the colorful buttons in here. So again, the rectangle tool with little buttons. Hold Shift key for a perfect rectangle. Make sure it's aligned. And also the rounded corners. Example is a little bit bigger, so I'm gonna do a little bit bigger, like this. And there's also a text underneath the button. Happy. It's also a little bit smaller. Like this. All right. Now we have one button. We're going to copy and paste it. Four times. Let's make it a little bit bigger. This. All right. Adjust the text. Make sure it's aligned with the button underneath. Calm, then relax. Also, for these icons, you can choose to create your own icons. So you can choose the circle shape and do smaller circle shapes. But I'm going to show you how to use a little bit quicker. So we're going to use the free icons again. In here, I see a beautiful smiley that we're going to use. Open this layer, copy and paste into our own design. Make it a little bit bigger. You can see here it's normally just black, the icons, but you can adjust it to be white. But you have to make sure like this to fill in the right colors. So it's white now. All right, now we have to find an icon that stands for calm. When I think of calm, I think of something relaxing. Maybe this drink? Is this calm? I think it is. So we're gonna use this one, and paste it to our design again. A little bit bigger. And also a bit more bold. You can choose that out here. Now I can see the smiley is a little bit smaller, thinner, so I'm gonna choose to make it a little bit more boldier as well. Now we have to find an icon for relax. Let's see. Calm and relax. Okay. Relax. This moon with a star. Yeah, I think that's pretty. Copy and paste it again. Make it bigger. And make it more boldy. And then the last one, oh. Wow, very pretty. All right, last one. Focus. What kind of icon do you think that fits the focus button? I think maybe something like a glasses, or do we have that? Ah, the glasses, exactly. Fit the glasses in here. You can see this button isn't really fulfilling the, isn't working in the design that I'm using. So it doesn't fit in exactly, but you have to make sure it stays in the frame. So if I accidentally dragged it out of the frame, you can just drag it into the frame like this. All right, make it white again. Maybe a little bit more boldy. Yes, 3. All right, now we're gonna do the fun part. We're gonna fix the colors. Let's do pinkish for the happy one. Calm, we choose purple. Relax is orange. And focus is blue. Bluey. Green, bluish. Let's see. Something like this. You can choose to do these components by yourself. So the text, the 2 buttons and the menu bar, navigation bar. It works the same as how I just showed you. Components are reusable elements in Figma. So for instance, if you use this button and you want to make sure this button comes back with different screens, it's important that you don't have to do it copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. You can just make one button and then save it inside of different screens. Let me just show you how it works. So, for instance, this button. I want this button to be a component, so we're gonna copy and paste it. This button is reusable, and if I change the original, all other copies update automatically. So I'm going to show you how it works. Let's see. Right click, create component. Now you can see here, component in the layers. Also, you can see here, assets. In the component area, you can see now here that the button is a component. Now, if I want to use that button again in a different screen, you can just drag it from your component into another screen. But the cool thing is, if you change your mind about the color or the font, you can just adjust the component by itself, and it changes throughout all of the whole file. So let me show you. Let's see here. I want to make the button a little bit more red. You can see the button is now red at all different, all the places that you use the component. Really handy. You can just adjust the text just here to button, for instance. And now the button is different in this screen, but the component stays the same. So if I'm now gonna change this font to, for instance, really ugly, but you can see now the text stays the same, but the font is changing. Really cool. Now I'm gonna show you the prototype. So now we've made different screens, and now I want to show you how to make it clickable. You want to make sure you're in prototype. In here, at the properties, you can see design and prototype. Now click the prototype button, and now we're in the interface of make the design clickable. In Figma, that's called prototyping, and it is super easy to do. You just switch the tabs, and you can see here the plus. You can create a connection between two screens. So if I'm going to choose to make this clickable, the whole screen, so even if I click here or here, it clicks onto the next screen. But I don't want that, I only want this to be clickable. So I'm gonna delete this one and make sure only this button is clickable. I'm gonna drag it to the next screen. And you can also choose to trigger the trigger in here. You can click on click, on drag while hovering, all kinds of these things. Click is just the most common one. You can also click the action, and you can also choose to do an animation. Instant is just instant. Dissolve is an effect that it dissolves, and animate, it animates the way you want it. But instant is the most common one. Let's just check. Now I've done this screen, I made it clickable. Now we're gonna make sure it's right, so we choose present in here. All right, now let's see if the prototype I made clickable works. So if I choose to let's get started, you can see now it clicks to the next screen. If I click here, you can see it's not clickable. It directs you to the button that do clicks. And Yes, it works. All right, once you're happy with your design, you might want to share it or export parts of it. You can share your entire file here at the top right of the thing. Yeah. So you can copy this link, and then anyone who clicks on the link you shared, they can view it. And that's what you can select here. You can also invite people, and they could edit it if you want to. But it's safer for you if only others can view it, because your design is a lot of work and you don't want that others can go through your design and edit all kinds of stuff. We don't want that, so let's just keep that at view. Also, if you want to export a file or download it as a PNG or JPG, then you have to go back to the design properties in here. You can choose to select the frames you want to export, like this. So hold your Shift key, iPhone, and then you see here, export, you click on the plus button, and you can see here, PNG, SFG, PDF, what you like. Let's do PNG, export to layers. What Figma does, if you name, for instance, app design 1, home app design home screen. So it takes the name of the frame for your export. So it's important that you name your frames. Now you can see here in my downloads. Takes a while, yes. Unzip it, and now you can see the name you chose in your exports. Also a few tips. If you want to make your designs more clean, use alignment and spacing consistently, like these buttons. Make sure the width is the same as every other button. Stick to a limited color palette. So, for instance, this app is using a lot of pastel, lighter colors. Make sure you create your own brand book before you start with your design. And also a good tip is to preview your prototype before using it. So present like this, and you can click through your design and see if everything works. All right, that's it for today. We've covered the ideas of how to make an app design in Figma. If you want to explore more, you can see the PDF files I included. And thank you for today, and hope to see you soon.